Хотя перед этим я отдыхал почему-то это.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete,
Белый
I better
халат.
learn to hide my true
Учиться
nature
жить.
from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Опа.
Come on, I don't have all night.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Yes, Doc?
Why then do you...
At the
lack of...
London,
You're dead...
we stop.
Exactly how bad...
It really depends.
Please...
It's the lot.
That's all. I cannot enter.
Not now.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Do you need medical help?
I'm fine.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free.
I have no intention of reporting.
The rules say I won't be allowed to...
Is he worth?
Hey, I'm no per...
Goodbye. Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
I'll leave you. Good evening.
And good evening to you, Doc.
Good. Good evening.
Good evening.
Goodbye.
I will not let you down, my boy.
We may lack the resources, but we have some of the most brilliant minds in London at Pembroke.
Good evening.
I'm okay.
I have to.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening.
Do you require?
I have.
Goodbye, Miss. Good evening.
Good evening.
Goodbye.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadigan fellow.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Goodbye. Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed, still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favour.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
Я так и не понял, что означают все-таки эти варианты.
How is your hospital?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see.
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place...
But you're alive thanks to the...
What are you expecting, a medal?
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox.
This place is full of
Oi.
sickness and decay. How could I get better and...
Consider yourself lucky.
Don't play the innocent with me.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I can...
And who are you then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day I'll
Говорим о
leave this
ботинах.
shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
How is your hospital?
This is a shitty place, which...
You're lucky.
This...
I'll leave.
Jesus, I've never seen so many people die at the same time.
Не выходите на улицу. Че не сработало приглушение? Да что?
Doesn't like fire, does it?
Походу я неправильно пошел. Или нет, правильно? А, ну да, неправильно. Надо обратно. Вообще. Господи, переходы между этими, это вообще, конечно.
It's locked.
Но остался только путь наверх, походу.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Ой. Как вообще мне поставить? Как?
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Ой, блядь. Пугал меня.
It's locked, all right. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. These scowls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Конечно, боёвка. Дебильная.
It's locked, all right. It's locked, all right.
Нужно постоянно теперь дверь открывать. Джон Доу. Да.
Skals can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Ой. Ну все, наверное. Да... Проверим еще раз верхний этаж на всякий.
It's locked.
Там еще, помнится, был этот. Как он называется-то? Сундук.
It's locked, all right.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you...
Yes, nurse. Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you...
Many thanks, Doctor. Dr. Reed,
What can you tell...
every day...
News...
It's...
What
This...
can you be...
Well,
For how long?
I first volunteered at the Pembroke in 1911. A few months...
And before you arrived?
If you must know.
Well, Dr. Swansea certainly...
Not in an official capacity.
What about...
Dr. Reed, we don't...
How is the...
Everybody works until they can't.
I'll see you...
I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Неоконченное письмо. Мои милые дети, что я писала раньше. А, ну это по...
Never could keep anything from her.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Is there anything else?
I'm all right.
You seem worried about the safety of your...
I cannot give up on my children now.
What about their mother?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
Так.
Is there anything...
I'm all right.
Привет, Улья. И что мне с тобой делать?
Goodbye for...
I will not let you down, my boy.
Оля, что это там за неизвестный?
Don't waste your time with me.
I'm quite...
Чем ты занят, блин? Дурачева.
Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Strick.
And good evening to you.
Do you need...
You don't have to worry.
Goodbye. I cannot enter.
Damn. The pain.
Hello?
Hello again, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye,
Ничего
Mr.
с ним нельзя сделать. Видимо, важен.
Good evening.
Evening.
Soldier.
I'm fine.
Goodbye.
Fear of disgust on every street corner. A daily routine.
Ладно, посмотрим, что там за неизвестный сначала.
Last time
Харви.
Safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
Что это такое? А, о.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
Я так понимаю, он повеситься
For
хотел.
God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No,
Или с ним
I
что-то было?
won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Ну что это за ты там было? А, понятно.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening.
What? You do come. Do you need?
I'm fine.
Goodbye, Milton.
Giant morgue disguised as a hospital. You are the
Good evening.
Good evening.
Goodbye. Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed,
Do you need any
come on.
Goodbye. Good evening, Doctor.
Dr.
Goodbye. Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Да что такое? Это там с ним подсказок.
Goodbye.
My sweet girl. Treats me like a book.
Good evening.
And good evening to...
Goodbye.
Да...
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir.
You are not a burden, sir.
And you have...
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reed.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
You can trust me. I won't reply.
I guess I...
Do you need any help? I have to...
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening.
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail. I can't let that happen. I won't.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
All my son needs is help and comprehension. Not judgment and punishment for what he may or may not have done.
Do you require...
I have a...
Goodbye.
I will not let you down, my boy.
You on our side, Dr. Reed. I know that Pembroke will prevent and survive this epidemic.
You don't mind if I search your pockets? Do you, sir?
Ах ты, крыского риска.
I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you.
Хитрый какой, а?
You
Индус.
see, no one has claimed your body, sir. So it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir. And I thank you for your generous donation.
Сейчас я тебе задоначу.
Good evening.
How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the
Да,
living.
да, тебе говно.
And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak.
You should show respect for the dead. What about their loved ones who may treasure these items you sell?
The bodies I watch over are the unwanted and undesired, sir. I would never deprive anyone of their family artifacts.
Goodbye. It's locked.
Наверное, надо было что-то другое, мне кажется, выбирать.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a
Please.
The Pembroke only survives through...
A spokesman or politician is what you need.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan.
And you would like me...
By the stole, of course not. I would just...
Accepted.
Do you need...
I have just...
Then ask away.
You mentioned something...
Certainly. I've been...
That explains...
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence.
Yet...
The Brotherhood...
Since I'm...
Well, for men...
What
to be...
What do you...
What we need is...
Since you...
As men...
The sun...
You will find there is...
Must...
You...
The man...
He was a Skrull, technically speaking. The debate...
Where do...
The name...
Just...
A Skrull.
We'll see it...
Редкие виды вампиров.
I'm sure that during your lifetime. Good evening. Tell me the truth about your. The regiment administration appointed me by. You can't impersonate. You're absolutely right, sir. Do you believe you have. My ratings were within the averages of the regiment. Do you realize how many soldiers died? Yes, sir. I swear I did, sir. It is an unbelievable. It was a time beyond belief, Dr. Reed. But.
Забавно.
Do you need me? I'm feel. Have you heard of someone? Pardon me, sir. Have you heard of someone? Pardon. Goodbye.
It's locked, all right.
I'm quite.
Have you heard about any
Blackmail?
Thank you.
Да что за залипание? Или ты меня так кровь типа ведет?
Good evening. Good evening. Have you heard talk of any?
No.
Goodbye.
Falling apart. But in the circumstances, I'm
Good
willing
evening.
to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Have you heard rumors?
Dr. Reed, are you trying?
Of course not, Mrs.
Well, go be curious somewhere.
Do you recall?
I have.
Goodbye, Miss. Good evening.
I'm okay. Yeah.
All right.
Call it what.
Have you heard rumors?
No.
Have you?
No.
I have.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Doctor.
I'll see.
С ней вообще только не поговорить.
Good evening.
And good evening.
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your dislike for Dr. Ackroyd?
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
Have you heard
If you're running some official inquiry, you...
Goodbye. Thank you for your time. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Have you heard?
If you want to know what's going.
Have you heard rumors of underhand dealings in the hospital?
If you want to know what's going on here, you better talk to Miss Jones. She knows everything, especially what she shouldn't.
Miss
Goodbye
Jones?
Feel my blood boil with the fever. The pain.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft.
I need blood, Doc.
Have you heard of any blackmailing going on within these walls?
I have no time.
I'll
Среди
leave.
It's
смертных.
lost its effect on me. But the suffering continues.
It's locked.
Hello? On every street corner. A daily routine.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Goodbye. Good evening.
Doctor,
Have you heard of...
I have no time.
Goodbye, Doc. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Have you heard of...
There are a lot of secrets round here.
What kind?
I'm not in the gossip business, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye.
Схерит.
It's safer here than anywhere else in the East.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You
Oh.
seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to
это
speed
же она.
concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients...
These poor souls have so...
I gather you have found an arrangement satisfying.
I was brought up not to...
Have any...
These...
The world would be a better...
You make me blush.
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have...
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rival...
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the...
I will gladly answer every question.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten?
Even if it were the case.
What are your expectations?
As the newly appointed surgeon of the...
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
I'll take care of it.
If that was the case, I'd settle...
I'll meet that woman now.
My life as... is our little...
I think of...
my situation...
А, это вот. Что он там что-то ворчал. А это оказалось ты. Еще и отдельная палата. Какая-то известная, что ли, блядь, дурочка.
What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse, or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be
God's honest truth, Doctor.
You seem to know more about the goings-on.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs.
Все шлюхи.
Scratching
Под любого
sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. Miss Jones. Now,
well,
if you could just tell...
it's terrible, Doctor. What with a pain...
I see.
No one comes to visit you.
Have you no...
It would be a great deal...
Come now, Miss...
Have you no eye?
Every...
Thief!
I'll...
Ладно, блин. В жопу тебя, карга. Театр Royal Garden Hall. Whitefish представляет Дорис Флетчер. Сапфо.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old
No matter how you feel about...
Who says I don't care for her?
She could have been telling the...
That old witch will end up in hell soon.
What can you...
Let me...
Do you need...
I'm far...
What can...
Let me... That...
She...
That...
No...
Who's...
Goodbye.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
Good evening. Goodbye.
Fear and disgust on every street cornered. A daily routine.
If Pembroke is still standing after this
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have...
The people who work here...
Have you seen a strange...
I've never heard of such...
Goodbye. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Мне показалось, там что-то можно
Goodbye,
поднять.
Good evening. Goodbye.
Как же этот...
How is your hot...
This is a shitty...
How is your hot...
This...
You're lucky.
This place...
I will... Have you...
Black...
I'll leave.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Блин, надо было сначала к этому мужичку сходить. Блин, теперь не найти ее. А, не, вот он.
Please, sir.
What's going on? I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from...
Oswald and myself are both infantry, sir.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Where was your...
He went down by the canal.
What can you tell me?
His name is Oswald Thatcher.
This is a danger.
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital.
What can you tell...
I'm Oswald's best...
Do you need...
No thanks, sir.
I have all...
Thank you.
It's locked, all right. This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor. Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend...
Yes.
Good. Now leave... Are you sure you're...
Yes.
Are you sure?
Да я выйти хотел. Это на улицу, походу, да? О, я думал, это... Ну не дракона. Ура.
What sort of creature is this?
Перо вздыхаю.
What sort of creature is this?
Блять! Вот это, конечно, было... Подляночка так подляночка. Застрял.
Here's what's left of him. Not a lot to check, but I should anyway.
Если больной, если у вас деньги, неважно кто вы, неважно откуда, обращайтесь за помощью до врача. Никакого обмана, никакой палаты, никаких вопросов. Просто идти дом Дариус.
Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Шлюха. Шантажирует она. Пальцы, кстати, то прикольно. А, через что? Ну да, это откуда? Так, отлично. Мне нравится палец. Классная вещь.
Hey, Doc. I'll...
That was
I'm afraid the trail of breadcrumbs.
Is that so?
Now it's time for you to be patient.
machination.
I hadn't considered.
Do be careful, my good doctor.
I'll return with
Какая-то карта пациента.
It's locked, all right.
Можно через верх выходить. Так, мне нужно... Так. Хотя бы такое сделаем. У меня же был, кстати, образец крови, нет?
Good evening. Good evening. Goodbye.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Да ш...
This dead
Good evening. Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Ой, лошара.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's what?
Reconstructive surgery has been...
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of me.
Tell me.
I went with...
Did you...
No.
Why lie?
I don't...
Why do you...
I was...
Goodbye for now.
Чё, и уже никак? Например, вернуться в меню, если загрузить.
with the fever. The pain.
Good evening.
Да, все. Давай попробуем загипнотизировать.
So this is how it ends. Farewell, my life, you betrayed me, good.
Крестом. Мне кажется, зря я это сделал. Лучше бы я никого не трогал. Ну уже все, да. Поздняк метаться, как говорится. Где эта дура? Не вроде тоже какой-то разговор.
Good evening.
I need blood, Doc.
I'll leave you. You're lucky.
This place.
Consider.
Don't.
I'll leave.
Тяжелая. Ебать, 18 уровень. И он капецки злой. Вон вампирюга, я слышу, как орёт.
Best be moving on. There's more and more of these bloody leeches. Best turn around and follow you.
Понятно.
More and more of these bloody leeches every night. Aye. Sorry, sir. No admittance. It's a leak! Die, Bernie!
Все просто смотрят.
Oh my god!
Die, vermin!
Блять.
He's mine! I'll take it! Dear God! Oh my God!
Роджер стена. Только сейчас заметил. Да блять. Да сука. Да сука. Да что? Ой, блядь.
More and more of these bloody leeches every night. Aye. But the guards recruit more and more every year.
When did you join the guard? 2 days ago. This is my first patrol. Smells like rotten meat. Die, vermin!
Christ, he's dead!
Shit, that leech is fast!
Блять.
I'll kill you! Locked out.
Можно вот эту механику укуса использовать, чтобы повернуться. Сука. Ой, тут типа подловить так можно. На. Неужели? Чудо, блин. Так, ну, хотя бы правильно.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Petrescu.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it!
На нахуй.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street.
What?
I'm Dr. Reed.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Craig?
Funny, I've been searching for her.
Really?
Word is she ain't real. It's just a cover for some doctor.
What can you...
Nothing to say, really.
You don't have anywhere to...
Not since the death of my wife.
You mean you...
Yeah, I had a wife, a home,
Perhaps you could...
I'm sick, broken.
You don't seem...
I always feel ill.
I will... Whatever the boy did...
I swear I didn't want to hit him.
A gun?
Пацан, ты как?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt...
Name's Albert. Remember it.
Do you know Nurse...
Never heard of her.
Do you need a sit...
Please.
There you go. Let's hope...
Very funny.
What happened?
Hey! I didn't do...
All right. Perhaps...
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no...
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town.
I said sod off.
Do you need assistance?
I'm all right.
Goodbye.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
Мокрые ботинки. Угу. Да вот опять!
Good evening.
What is it, Benjamin? The doctors called me a liar. A coward.
What about those we left behind? Faith's...
It's not that simple.
Да сука! Ну как так? Ну, вроде так ладно было.
A gun?
Хотя про это варварский тоже.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested?
Actually...
Then you have come to the right...
Oh.
Ah, my brother...
Do you know Nurse Dorothy?
I don't like to talk.
Competition?
Never met her, but it seems she provides...
Tell me.
The region itself is something to...
What do you...
Most of them are afraid.
Is there...
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt.
You look ill, Miss Swanborough.
I'm perfectly fine, thanks to...
Goodbye.
I could get some work.
The Swanborough Coil can be the answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
Открывай.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr.
There is no Dorothy.
I'm afraid this medical...
Really? Well, I'm afraid I...
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by... I must
I have no...
It's locked.
Как же я
Strange
попляшу?
man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I cannot enter. I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Так.
Welcome, sir. Please.
I am Dr. Reed.
Doctor? Interesting.
Have you heard of
Nurse Crane?
Yes. Those...
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name.
That doesn't explain.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives a...
Do you need...
I only need...
How is
business?
I see.
It's no...
As a...
What you mean
Violence.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some...
Where did...
In a closed work...
Have you been hurt? Do you need...
I only...
Goodbye. Excuse me, sir.
Another journalist?
I'm not a journalist.
A doctor, you say?
Really? But still...
I'm Joe Peterson to some. But
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane?
Dorothy Crane?
Could you please tell me...
She's a nice girl.
Can I offer you my...
The name is Colossus.
Я не из тех, кто болеет.
May I ask?
I'll do whatever I want.
According to you,
Not familiar with this neighborhood.
This part of town does have...
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards.
A job?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the...
You survive at any cost, even...
I don't care what you think, sir.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would have...
Oh, do you really think he's the poor...
Can I...
The name?
Goodbye. Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son.
I am... Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane?
I don't like the liberal ideas of Nurse...
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work?
Nuns should be the only women.
Why do you hate Nurse...
Before coming to London...
Don't
Коммунистка.
I've been touched by God.
Do you...
I don't... Before... None.
What?
All
Quite...
for you.
Well, what do you...
The beat.
Really?
We must fight the disease.
What is left?
Cleanse it.
Tell me, Tobias. What...
God will recognize his own.
Purification by fire.
Your lack of faith is predictable.
Your
My son.
Joseph.
Vicar Lara.
What...
All
quite...
for you.
Well, what do you...
The beat.
I have... Good evening.
It's...
What...
All
quite...
for you.
I... Have you...
No.
You sent him...
As a true believer.
Where did you...
I sent Samuel to the...
Don't you...
I've been touched...
I have heard...
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part?
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel.
Dr. Reed, the famous sir...
Do you need a...
That would be nice of you, Doctor.
Why are the newspapers...
There's a war going on.
Sir. Have you any...
I've had to run and hide more.
I'm convinced that...
Really?
What is a journalist?
He goes where...
So...
Whitechapel. Not at all.
I heard you're investigating a...
Not much, I'm afraid.
It's confidential.
Are you sure you're not just concerned?
Without a doubt, you are a
I don't know much about the man.
He has...
No. Except for that strange...
Where can I find?
He spends...
He never...
No. A few days ago.
Really?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just...
I don't know. Goodbye.
Да, блин. Фига себе, он мне ушатал. Бедный пацан.
Good evening, sir.
I'm pleased, be my guest. Although,
Really?
I'm a poet, sir.
А, это поэт.
May I ask what...
Not at all. I'm just...
But are you...
Oh, I should...
If you...
Thank you.
Do you need... I understand.
You...
Tell me,
The place...
in what the... If you such vivid...
Oh, yeah?
Do you not...
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life.
What can you...
Not much.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth.
One day, perhaps. I'll ask.
And have you ever tried to learn more?
Maybe I prefer...
Are you aware that your life...
But this is where I must be to...
I
don't... If... Well, you, for a start.
May I ask...
Not at all. I'm...
What are your thoughts?
Terrible.
What are you talking...
Do you remember...
Yes. The enjoyable...
Most people fail to understand my perspective.
May I ask you...
Extraordinary part of town.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane.
Dorothy Crane. Oh.
What can you tell me about her?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him.
Not interested in your...
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight...
Do you need... May I ask... I'll leave...
imprisoned by your
Кто такая дамочка?
Don't be shy, handsome.
I'm not looking for what you...
All right then, but be quick.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital?
Проститутка, что ли это?
Anything
I don't know her, but I know
you seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel.
Tell me about it.
Are you joking with me?
I have no interest in your work.
Short story.
Many people must...
And when exactly was the last time?
Christina, have you been examined?
I don't like doctors. Or
Considering your...
if it is going to happen, it will happen.
You can put...
And you think that would worry me?
Do you need any...
It depends.
I will see... Christina, have...
I don't.
Clayton Darby claims he will...
I believe Clayton's courage will erode.
Why this...
How can you speak about...
Are you talking...
I've seen your type come here to get a...
Goodbye.
Good evening.
Christina Popper claims...
Of course I do.
Do you think things will ever change?
I believe the situation can only improve.
I still have...
I don't know.
He...
No,
really?
He went...
Goodbye.
Ой, блядь, кто придумал? Ему бы, блядь, так бы ему, блядь, за шею ему. Ебать, просто растворился. Любопытно. Что там такое?
Steady, boys! We've got one of them! Want some of this?
Ты ж, блять. Да. Вот ты нахуй. Ты живой, скотина. Капец, чуть не убил меня.
This could be the box Lewis thought he lost. There's a letter inside.
Барретт, мне легко говорить, но я буду откровенен. Дальше так продолжаться не может, по крайней мере, так больше не могу. Если Джо про нас узнает, что мы его жена его штук. Ты где-то потом убьет тебя, нам было хорошо вместе, но я никогда не стану Джейн Льюис. Ты это знаешь, я тоже поэтому вязала наши отношения прямо здесь сейчас. И сама ты глянет на меня. Ты Джо и я, и тогда мы сохраним саму важную, что пока надеюсь, ты пустишь меня сюда. Джейн Peterson.
A love letter from Joe Peterson's wife addressed to Barrett Lewis. Who should I give it to, I wonder?
Да, вот это вот интересный момент. Кому?
I must
I have...
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose. As a merchant, you...
What you mean besides the...
Joe Peterson.
I've known Joe for years. I saw him...
What can you tell me about Miss...
Colossus Joe was a decent box...
Without making excuses for him.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we?
And
nobody would be fooled if...
Barrett.
Yeah, I did. She's...
Did you ever try to...
Never. But I suspected he knew.
Do you mean...
No one will ever know for sure.
Goodbye for...
А кому еще можно коробку
Never...
отдать? Ну...
I found this box.
Let's have a look.
I suppose...
Luck is a commodity round...
About this package. It's not just tools.
I want to be rude or anything after your...
Goodbye for...
Может, зря я ему отдал?
You never... Goodbye.
Может, надо этому было дать? Это он? Ну, видимо, уже поздно. Отдал-то я тому коробку.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My
Your father is...
So my father actually... Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So...
I'm not bothered.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy...
Yes, I know her.
Do you need...
Yes, I do.
How do you...
I'm fine.
Speak.
My fault.
Forgive my bluntness, young man.
Why should I?
You have a roof over your head?
That's exactly what my father says.
If life here is so...
I don't go outside.
So that's why you stay at home, or...
I'm not afraid of disease or death.
Do you remember when Barrett Lewis...
Not really. I was...
Why are you...
Because it hurts to remember a time when...
How was he?
He was nice, I guess. He never...
Your father and...
I was young then. I don't...
Have you tried...
I don't go out often, but yes.
But you are not...
Am I not? Dad?
Goodbye.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
It's locked, all right.
Он уже состоял в банде, получается, на тот момент.
So,
I'm not...
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest...
Can't say. I'd be...
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
You again?
Why do you keep on working for the...
It's true, I hate this job.
You could leave tomorrow. Start...
That's easy for you to say, Doc.
Harry doesn't seem happy living.
I've always put my son's interests above...
You really love your son, don't you?
He's my pride and joy.
Do you have any...
Only one. Not...
Since the criminal...
No one will ever take my son away from...
Goodbye.
Fancy but
You know... What do you know of Harry Peterson?
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough.
What trouble?
But despite being his father's son,
Goodbye.
cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Блять, чувствую себя не каким-то доктором, а...
Sure. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Детектив какой-то, хожу, блять, все вынюхиваю.
I'm not...
Forgive my... You have a room?
That's exact...
Goodbye, young man.
Even my dreams are so blue.
Good evening.
Shake.
Goodbye. Good evening, miss. I know what you're thinking. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Tell me about Richard Niven. You don't seem to need. But hello again. Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crow. A stubborn and mute cop. Very well.
О.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Блин, там где-то я мог прыгнуть наверх. Это где было? А нахуя? Вопрос. Но, видимо, для чего-то нужно.
Good evening.
I still have questions.
I don't... He not really. He went...
Goodbye.
I'm cheap
Открывай. Я все знаю.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again.
Sir, wait. Stop. Don't you see we're on the same...
I'm nothing.
Yes, you are.
I have to admit your words have...
It's locked.
If you want to talk to Dor...
We've not been formally introduced.
I am Darius Petrescu.
So Dorothy's real name is...
Like myself and many...
She seems...
More than you can imagine.
Do you need some...
I am very
What? Tell me everything you know.
I do not believe in the afterlife.
Are you not?
She is as brave as she...
Are you in love with...
Don't be stupid.
Who is she?
She is not from around here.
You say she has no clothes.
Вампир, что ли, она? Мне кажется, она вампир.
Tell... Do you...
Who knows?
Don't be embarrassed, sir.
It's quite awkward to talk about.
This war won't last.
No.
I know you fought for your...
I know my days are numbered. And
But Romania escaped the...
It is not the country I fought.
How did you meet...
I'm her oldest friend in England.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you?
Really? Then perhaps...
Goodbye.
Оказывается, там вон можно было пройти, или это просто мне типа теперь разрешили проходить через эти участки? Ну скорее всего разрешили. Письмо сестре Крей. Вот чё не всегда нажимается? Дом на 31 октября. Моя милая Дороте. Тут прощаюсь, я уже буду на корабле, который везет Антона и меня обратно брас. Он говорит, нас честно мечта поскорее видеть город. Холмы Трансильваника. Наверное, поставлю свечку в Черной церкви за то, что страшная эпидемия. Теодор какая-то, сестра. Знаешь, что ты намеренно помогает, но можешь ее не покинуть, спорили.
He's going into convulsions, Doctor.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
Ух, ебать.
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor.
Батя, чё я такой весь краснючий?
He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along?
Сука. Хуёвый из меня врач? Или так и должно быть?
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manner.
It's locked, all right.
I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady...
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that...
Dr. Swansea is a sensible...
It's easy for you to say, Doctor.
So, the end...
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another...
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
Хуй знает, правильно, нет?
It's locked. It's locked.
Murdering bosses!
Даже с этой стороны.
Hello. Yes?
Tell me...
I do...
Goodbye. It's locked.
Надо прокачаться, что ли? Ой, не-не-не. А, тут не выход. Как-то они, кстати, больно бьют. Аккуратно. Это тоже, я так понимаю, выход. А, я, наверное, понял, почему там... Где я тогда вверх под прыжке в этом подпрыгиваю, не мог пройти. Это, наверное, один из выходов. Я не мог выйти, потому что был недоступен просто. Ладно, поспим, прокачаемся. Ой. Нормально так подкачались. Угу. Ну, я так и знал, что ночью, типа. Угу. Все, она считается пропавшей. Ебать, игра просто крашнулась. Нажал так. Так нажал.
Good evening, Mr. Petrescu. I heard what happened to
Everything was going...
Maybe you should consider the bigger picture.
So you put an end...
You seem to have a lot.
I heard you are a famous...
I didn't use drugs or med...
But what happened to her then?
Tell me...
I don't...
What do you plan?
I'm not sure. Strange.
What
stories?
You...
Yeah.
Are you...
And what?
Why?
I don't...
What?
My house is always...
You... Are you...
I don't...
How do you...
I would... Yeah, he said...
Tell me... Goodbye.
No match for the Swanborough cordial.
Poor Dorothea. I'm so sorry.
Пиздец, теперь ты что? Что за загрузка?
Good evening, my dear colleague.
You look ill, Miss Swanborough. I wonder if your concoction will do the trick.
I'm perfectly fine thanks to my miraculous elixir.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling. Good evening.
On the front.
You don't...
Oh.
I will... A gun... I cannot enter.
Да я не это хотел.
How are you?
I'm not your boy, all right?
Серьезный.
Goodbye. Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Steady, boys. We've got one over there. He's dead. No!
Да нет, не хочу я спать. Да блять, да сука, что я сделал? Да думал сбросить это, блять, выйти. Ой, бля. Тут еще это ебучее автосохранение. Да блять, ну ебаное это автосохранение. Ну, шатал твой рот. Сейчас еще раз поспим, что-то еще произойдет, да? Нахуй я вот. Все просто. Все, блядь, заболели, нахуй. Как к ним-то пройти-то?
Kill it, boy! Burn it, boy!
Кто еще? Здорово.
Здорово.
Сейчас зайду.
Да, да.
Мы что же на реген карте будем, да?
Ну да.
Или будем готовы?
Можно, готовы. Готовые по-своему интересно, просто некоторые чувачки их делают больше для сольного прохождения, чем. Хотя хотовские, может, нормально. Что это?
Будь здоров. Заболел? Алло.
А?
Я говорю, заболел, что ли, что чихаешь?
Да нет, просто. Я же правду сказал.
Чё ты?
Нет, не знаю.
Блин, чё ты бубнишь, не расслышал?
Ладно.
I'm sure Albert would like to know he's been accepted by the Wet Loot Boys.
Зря, наверное, брату взял Dark Souls 3.
Почему?
Горит по-жесткому, чувак.
Чё, он прям
Ну,
ругается,
резко
сидит?
не устанавливается.
Чё, он сидит, ругается, что ли, или чё?
Подождите, я что-то вообще не слышу. Скажите.
Раз.
Все нормально.
Я говорю, чё, он сидит, ругается, что, сильно?
Да зачем он там? Мне кажется, скоро жил.
Ну там от любого этого моба, в принципе, дохнешь.
Да там система еще по себе, я еще посмотрел.
Ну, они там, короче,
долбанутая.
там не то что система, они еще вроде как понимают. Ну, короче, игра, типа, там она корректирует, типа, сложность вроде как. И ты еще, когда ее повторно проходишь, там еще сильнее, типа, мобы, естественно.
Ну, это понятно, то же самое, как Секира. Кстати, Антоха, ты чуть ошибся. Когда много умираешь в Секира,
ну,
там постепенно уменьшается вот эта вот невидимая мощь, ну и, конечно, ну, болезнь распространяется, да?
Ну.
И ты как бы не можешь просто квесты брать у других чуваков, там каких-то появляются. И вот, допустим, доводишь свою невидимую эту херню, допустим, там... Я не помню, как было, допустим, там по 5% вроде поначалу падает, или по 10%, потом по 1, короче, проценту падает. Или по 2 даже. И доводишь до 1% или до 3%, и там можно потом всех вылечить, короче.
Я знаю, там есть такая хуйня, но, типа...
Ну,
я знаю, я помню про это.
У меня я одну потратил на, ну, на воскрешалку, причем не знаю зачем. Ну, просто увидел, я не знал, что это воскрешалка дополнительная. Всех вылечил, и у меня сейчас еще их штуки 4, наверное, валяются лишних. То есть, как бы, это вообще не проблема. Хотя умирал я очень много.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan.
Я думаю, скоро пройду ее. За все время только 2 босса было. Это проблемных. Вот эта вот бабочка, и который чувак.
The situation is somewhat awkward, none.
Anyway,
I see.
the case is closed, Your Ladyship.
So who was
My lady, the blackmailer.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you, my...
If you have an inclination to learn...
Why does Dr. Swansea allow...
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate...
What do you know about
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London.
And...
As you well know.
I know this is beyond...
Really? And I...
Very well.
A lady has to have...
And who bestowed it?
My maker.
Why did you say...
I could hardly stand by and what...
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor...
What
Not a true vampire.
I've been hearing a voice talk.
Hush. Tell no one this.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vamp...
Excuse my forwardness.
Me? Goodness no.
I don't understand.
That is a question only the one who make...
So me being a
I very much doubt it, Jonathan.
I'd like to avoid
The process is dangerous.
A vampire?
Such a crude word, defined by...
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are...
So we are Ekons.
How to put it?
I've been away from London and England.
Things have gone from bad to worse here.
The Spanish flu has hit London.
Yes, but it's not...
What is it?
Fear has long since flown.
When I awoke, changed.
Though I can't be certain.
Once
They have seen better days, but...
You make them...
More a society. And
Are there many?
Immortals are of a rare breed.
Do you know any of them?
You mean your maker? No.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an...
Will they all be as affable as you?
I do not see why not.
That sounds like a...
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes...
I bid you... I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
It's safer here than anywhere.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you need...
I'm fine.
Goodbye.
Прикольная, Леха, кстати, игрушка. Про вампира.
Да, вампир.
Попробуй потом поиграем, может тебе понравится.
Попробуй, может зайдет. Ну мне пока сейчас секира, потом резидент второй будет.
Ну... Резидент, который новый, второй?
Конечно.
Я тоже потом как-нибудь их поиграю, резиденты. Но я сначала поиграю старый, наверное.
Ну я прошел нулевой. Ой, нет, первый. Я купил нулевой еще, но... потом пройду. Я начал, там пока так все легко, не особо даже интересно.
Там еще, видишь, скоро выйдет и третий новый.
Да, ремастер видел. Ну, первая часть мне очень понравилась. Очень классная. Которая ремастере тоже. Ну, как ремастер, там просто качество лучше. Ну да,
ну да, там качество. Там просто подняли качество для новых этих.
И там там еще чуть-чуть добавили монстров новых. Я когда раньше играл, их не было. Но первый я был, ну, доволен. Очень хороший. Нулевой я пока еще не успел оценить. Ну, типа, нулевая, типа, события про этот особняк, в который ты будешь в первой части играть, как я понял. В первой части в особняке самом.
Ну, там же все связано, типа, вот как
ну,
идет,
да.
поэтому.
Да, вторая, вот это, полицейский участок, типа, город. Ну, второй я видел, как играет, блин, мне очень понравился. Племянник так побегал. Но...
Там еще несколько раз она проходит, новая. Ну, там и разными персонажами играешь.
В этой... Нулевой что прикольно сделали, там меняешь персов. Вдвоем играете. Ну, как бы не вдвоем это. Ты за мужика, а потом надо...
Ну, в этой во второй так же, типа.
Так же будет, да?
Ну, в новый, во второй там также. Там несколько. Там сначала играешь, по-моему, Леоном, потом играешь от другого лица. Типа события смотришь с другой стороны. Там вроде.
Другой часть чуть-чуть по-другому. Тебе дают сразу двух персонажей, например, да? Играешь сперва за бабу, допустим, баба застряла, переключаешься на мужика, допустим.
Я понял.
Вытаскивает.
Я понял.
Переключение игрока. Ну, Секира, кстати, беру свои слова обратно. Дальше, говорю, очень интересно, прикольно сыграть стало. Пока.
Так, все, ухожу.